Hi guys, and welcome to my new video. In this video we will be going over the gear part of my Airsoft loadout. And in next week's video we will be going over the guns and gun accessories. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing you need to buy, and actually the most important thing, is your eye pro. Something to protect your eyes. You have different options like this, the goggles, the glasses. Mine are tinted, they sit nice and flush against my face and they're not too tightened up, so it won't hurt my face. The second option is for when I'm being a little bit more aggressive. It's a full seal goggle with a band around my head. It sits a little bit more tight and it protects my head a little bit better. If you're just shooting at targets in your garden, you could also use the measure goggles, but I wouldn't advise using them for any games. Next up is a face mask. You always need a face mask to protect your teeth, but it's not obligatory at every field. For this I have two options as well. So this is the simplest form of a face mask. It's a mesh mask that you put like this over your head. You can bend the metal to fit your head properly. It's the easiest one to use, but I'm not a fan of it because the metal's always cold and it might, well, scratch your face as well. This one is a lot easier to use, and it sits way better because of the fabric that sits here. And this is a fast mask, so this means I can clip it to the side on my helmet, and the back part I can attach it to the Velcro part on my helmet as well. It's very easy to use and it sits quite comfortable, and in between games I can just undo one side so it hangs like this and then it's not in front of my face. So next up is my helmet. It's a fast helmet with ventilation holes in the top. You can see on the inside it has a lot of foam parts, so it sits right and comfortable. Also in the back it has a nice padded part, so it really sits nice. To the side you can attach parts for a rail, for example, or you can just attach hearing protection. On this side I have a K9 unit patch, and on this side I have a Specna arms patch that came with my gun bag. On the front I have a GoPro mount because I really like to record some footage from time to time, but I don't always use it, but I keep it on there because I needed to file a piece of the helmet mount away because the mount was too tightened. Next up is my plate carrier. The plate carrier itself is quite a budget plate carrier, but the attachments to it make it more useful. So on the front I have a double stack closed AK pouch. It's really handy because I can really put everything in there, my sniper mags, my speed loader, my cell phone. I can really use it for everything. On the side we have M4 mag pouches, closed ones. They protect my side, but I also use them to put two shotgun mags to the side next to each other. Excuse me. Then here we have my dead rag, so when I'm killed I can pull it out and stick it to my helmet. This is the water hose. It's attached to the camel bag that's here in the back of my backpack. It's sort of a camel bag, it's a 1 liter bag so I can drink. Then when we have this here, it's the radio pouch. This pouch, well, I put my radio in it and I can attach through the molly webbing. I can really just put my speaker here or my PTT here to the front. It's really a nice pouch and I can adjust it to any size of radio that I have or I come across. Then the backpack itself is really handy. The bottom part you can reach for yourself, and in there I put some, well, spare camera mounts, my camera when I'm not using it, and just useful mounts that I need during the game. Because I might be thinking like, oh shit, my camera died and I wanted to put it there, or whatever reason I need it, I have it there. Then in the top side are things that I don't need in-game, but I might need in between games. For example, a knife, a foldable knife. It's an Opinel. It's used by, well, a lot of people actually. Everyone I know owns an Opinel. It's really a nice knife, and I got this one from my grandfather. Then the second thing I put in there is a multi-tool. The multi-tool you can use for everything, to tighten up a mount, well, to cut something, to cut some, to use it as pliers. You can use it actually for anything what you want. So multi-tool, and camera equipment, and I also attached some patches to the back and one to the front. So that was my plate carrier. So next up we got some attachments. This is my flashlight. I can use it as an attachment on my shotgun because I have a rail mounted to it, but I can also use it just as a simple flashlight. Well, it comes in handy, it's really easy. And the nice thing is that I can put it like this for a wide angle light, and I can just put it to the front and it's just a close, centered light. A nice thing is that it came with a padded case, so I can carry it with me, nothing will break. And it's just a full metal flashlight, so you can't do anything wrong with that. So next up is my barrel cover. So you put the barrel of your gun inside of this, and then you attach it to something where you can attach it. For example, the receiver, or well, behind the pistol mag, or just when you have a rail on your sniper, you can do it between the holes in the rail. So it's really handy. It cleans your gun. It keeps your gun clean, so you don't need to clean it that often. Then next up are these two. These two are just team bands. I use it when I play with friends. When you go to fields, you get them yourselves, but when playing with friends, these team bands come in handy, because you can see, is that a guy flanking me or is just a teammate, so it comes in handy. Next up is my radio. It fits nicely in the radio pouch. It's a Baofeng BF88E. It's the most powerful version that is allowed in Belgium, so you need to have a fixed antenna in Belgium, and your transmitting power can't exceed 0.5 watt. So this is a 0.5 watts as a fixed antenna, so it's the most heavy duty radio you can use in Belgium. A nice feature is that this one has 16 channels, 16 PMR channels, whereas other slightly cheaper models, but not that cheap, have only 8 channels. So big advantage, you have a lot more channels. So this is the earpiece, or the PTT, you can use with the radio. PTT stands for push to talk. It's really nice. It's an earpiece. It's quite cheap, but I've ordered some new ones. Then I have my gloves. On these gloves are little rubber protective parts, but it's just for aesthetics, more or less. You do need gloves, so when you get shot in the knuckles, it won't hurt that much. So gloves are really a no-brainer, you should always use them. Then next up are BBs. Well, for every gun you need to choose your different BB weights, for example, or well, also the size of the cup can vary, because this is a 0.3 gram 3000 bullets by rockets. It's biodegradable, and I use these for my sniper. But for my pistol, I use a spring pistol. It's quite pathetic, but I really like playing with it. It's a full metal spring 1911, and I use 0.2 gram biodegradables. These are green, first green BBs I actually used, but it's a lower weight, so I can get more range out of my gun. And then these are another example. It's 0.23 gram BBs. I use these for my shotgun. It's a single shot shotgun, so 0.23 gram BBs are just the best to get the most range out of my gun. Also biodegradable, because it's well obligated by law to use biodegradable BBs, so they're all biodegradable. And last on my list are speed loaders. On my table are speed loaders. Well, you can use them to quickly load your magazine. Well, yeah, they're really handy, and they come mostly free with your guns, so you should always use them. And last part of the list is my clothing. My pants is just a traditional OD green cargo pants by Jack & Jones. You can buy them in any Jack & Jones store. Normally they sell them. But my combat shirt is a Black Mountain combat shirt, but it's quite similar to the one Novridge sells. The only difference is the one with these sleeves have a little bit more brown inside, whereas mine is more greenish. But the quality overall is the same as the Novridge product, but I bought mine from Black Mountain. It's almost same price, so well, it's really a great purchase. Because also the sleeves are made from rib fabric. This means that it's resistant against well, almost everything. It won't rip apart when you cross through bushes or something like that, so it's really well, a great shirt. So that was it for part 1 of my loadout video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for the gun part.